3,800 years ago, a boy named Joseph lived in Canaan. His father loved him more than his brothers. Joseph had a dream of stars bowing down to him. When he shared it, his brothers hated him even more. Then one day, he walked toward them in the field, and they said, "Here comes the dreamer." White right pointing backhand index. What did they do next? Find out in part 2. Joseph said, "Listen to my dream. We were binding sheaves in the field, and my sheaf stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around and bowed down to mine." His brothers asked, "Do you plan to rule over us?" And they hated him even more because of his dreams and his words. But their jealousy would soon turn into action. One day, when Joseph came alone to the fields, they made a terrible decision. Joseph, still just a boy, his brothers, blinded by jealousy, grabbed him and threw him into a pit, a deep, dark hole, with no way out, no one to help, no one to hear. And then they sold him to passing traders, silver exchanged for blood, betrayed, alone, far from home. But his story is just beginning. Joseph was taken to Egypt, sold as a slave to a man named Potiphar, a captain of Pharaoh's guard. Though far from home and stripped of freedom, Joseph worked with honesty and care. He chose faith over bitterness. Potiphar noticed Joseph's character and saw that God was with him. Because of this, Joseph was trusted with everything in Potiphar's household. In a foreign land, as a servant, Joseph began to rise again, not by force, but by faith. Joseph served faithfully in Potiphar's house, but one day, Potiphar's wife told a lie. She accused Joseph of a crime he never committed. Her words burned like fire, and no one defended him. Soldiers seized Joseph and dragged him away. Without a fair trial, he was thrown into the king's prison. The walls were cold, the nights were long. Yet in the darkness, Joseph prayed. He trusted God's promise. This was not the end of his story. It was only the beginning. In the darkness of the prison, Joseph prayed to God. One night, 2 prisoners came to him, troubled by strange dreams. They said, "We had dreams, but no one can explain them." Joseph replied, "Interpretations belong to God. Tell me your dreams." As they spoke, Joseph listened carefully. With wisdom from above, he revealed the meaning of their visions. To one he said, "You will soon be restored to your position." To the other, "You will face judgment." And just as Joseph said, the dreams came true. His gift from God could not be hidden, even in prison. Long ago, the ruler of Egypt had troubling dreams. No one could explain them. But Joseph was brought from the prison. He said, "Your dreams reveal what God is about to do. 7 years of abundance will come, followed by 7 years of famine." Impressed by his wisdom, the ruler appointed Joseph to oversee all of Egypt, from prisoner to ruler. Joseph's faith changed his destiny. Famine spread across the land. Joseph's brothers came to Egypt, seeking food. They bowed before the governor, without knowing he was Joseph. Joseph saw his brothers and remembered everything. He sent everyone away. And with tears, he said, "I am Joseph, your brother." The brothers trembled in fear. But Joseph embraced them and said, "Do not be afraid. What you meant for harm, God turned into good,